30 seconds to battle.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have our remake, and it looks like we are ready to rock and roll. No packet loss, or at least an acceptable level lack of packet loss. I'm getting 0, so it looks like it was just a server-related issue, and we're back. Sorry to the VOD viewers, as we have cut out the draft for this game, as there was an extended break. But last year we are, Merlini. Maybe we should go over this draft a little bit for the sake of those joining us late.
Sure. Looks like Dignotoss, they have the Ember Spirit. That's the most significant thing about their lineup. Other than that, it's fairly standard. They like to do mid, off lane, Lone Druid, and very passive supports. At least it will be early, so I don't expect any aggression for them. Just trying to farm it up. On the side of PSST, we see a more wombo combo strategy with the Alchemist and the Mag combo that I have not seen in a very, very long time. But they also have some aggression with the Alch, with the Dazzle, with the Nature's Prophet able to rotate with a lot of right-click damage in the safe lane too. So they're going to be looking to put some deaths on the scoreboard.
Absolutely. It was a first pick Dazzle, and I believe a second pick Ember Spirit on the side of DNT.
They do this a lot. So I think they put someone mid to get the experience while Doom creeps the 30-second camp, and then they rotate back. Pretty smart.
Yeah, it's what they did last time. This time, Doom will grab the Wild Wing Ripper. So Tornado, not really ideal for Doom. Obviously, his mana pool makes
Gets that armor, though. Kind
of a moot point. But yeah, it does give you a decent armor buff. So I suppose not the worst creep, but not really the best either. Actually, a double Wild Wing Ripper spawn.
Oh, he might just be straight jungling, actually.
Is this actually a Lich solo mid?
I don't know. I think they're still going to rotate. He probably wants a better creep, but they also want to clear this camp, but they don't need it because now they're out of camps. Oh, they're smoke ganging at level 2. Level 1.
Nature's Prophet actually in some trouble down bottom while that smoke is underway. Last hit magic will micro his way through the trees, and he lives. But yeah, here's the smoke. Doom, level 2.
I don't think they can kill mid.
Still one.
He can just skewer back, and the creep way's pushing him in the tower.
Yeah,
maybe. Oh, he popped the smoke. You know something's funky, but like, how are they gonna kill him? I still don't understand what the smoke was about. That was just a lot of wasted time. They could both be level 2 right now, but instead they Lich and CM are just running around, not really doing that much. I guess they're gonna stack the Ancients.
Yeah,
but I mean, they're not gonna be able to take that for a long time. Lone Druid, he can take one Ancient stack at a time.
That was. Yeah, you're right. That was an odd smoke, though. I don't know what I mean, maybe if he had something a little bit more aggressive, like a War Stomp or some sort of an you know, like even an ensnare, yeah, the troll, maybe they could have set up that kill, but the armor ore is great for when you're sitting in lane, not so great for setting up an early kill.
Yeah, or do you stack the big camp so that you can make good use of the Tornado, but they didn't really do that. Tornado takes a lot of mana for him.
200.
I guess it's worthy. That spell is really good.
Yeah, and it lasts a really long time, and you can kill like a huge stack with it, so yeah, definitely right. Looks like Lichy having a little bit of the DC issues. Hopefully he comes back. Looks fairly even across the board, though. Down bottom, it is Ember Spirit sitting 10-6 against the long lane Nature's Prophet, who is currently 3-1. So the Ember Spirit getting the better of him. I'm also going to be curious to see how Ember Spirit builds here. Right now, he is 102.
It's usually a max Flame Guard with 1 Flight of Fist early. So at level 7, you'll see 114.
Okay, so you go for the...
That spell does a lot of damage. 60 damage a second is huge for 20 seconds. So potentially it could do 1200 AoE, but most of the time it's not that much. It's just very good for chasing people down.
See, I look at that ability and I call that immolation. That's what I think of in my head. I think of the Demon Hunter.
It's like pipe plus immolation in one.
Yeah, I guess it absorbs magic, so it's not quite true immolation, but it's always what I think of.
Demon Hunter.
If I spout out immolation, that's what I'm referring to. The old Night Elf hero.
Warcraft 3 was awesome.
Oh yeah. Oh, throwbacks.
Dazzle looks like he is
and
flirting a little bit with danger. Derp is level 3. Chicken MC is only level 2, but now that we see Lich up there, he is able to deny a lot of creeps, pull the lane back for him, harass Devil Rasta quite a bit.
Oh,
or was Alk?
Yeah, we'll take a little bit of harassment here. But all in all, looks like the farm fairly even. Luna is 18-9 against her counterpart, the 15-9 Ember Spirit, and Lone Druid not really getting a hell of a lot. He's only 1-0, so he's actually getting next to nothing. Not even able to deny some creeps. Chicken MC looks like he is back to the streets, though. That's nice to see that hashtag still there.
Yep, back to the streets.
Yep.
He has a cute panda bear too, and they also have this observer ward, very smart observer ward, because it checks into here. And he gets this vision with it, and he can see wherever Alchemist is, and If he's up, they play back. If he's pulling, then they can get some creep score.
Yeah, very true. Oh, there's that cute panda. Oh, look at you, panda. So, all right, looking at these drafts, I feel like we still need to rehash some stuff that we talked about in the draft, though. Some of that conversation.
PSST's team fight is better simply because of the Magnus. If they get a good RP, they will win the team fight.
And they've got a lot of minus armor. They've got Alchemist Acid Spray on top of the Dazzle Weave once he hits level 6. They definitely have the more team fight oriented roster.
And a lot of physical damage to complement.
Yeah. Yep. Luna with those bouncy glaives, and even having the Empower. That's not something, or yeah, Empower is not something that you talk about a lot, but really helps with in these minus armor strats. Although, actually, does it because Cleave isn't physical damage. Cleave is
but
its
you
own.
still hit your main target for more. So
That's okay.
more.
Fair enough. Yeah, but gotta remember, minus armor doesn't help with Cleave. That's one of those funky Dota mechanics.
It is really weird.
Throws newcomers for a loop. Yeah.
Well, wait till they learn about damage types too.
Yeah, well, Cleave is the beginning down that road, I suppose. So,
very passive early game. I think
Yeah.
this slightly works out in Dignotoss' favor, though, because they have the weaker early game, I say, with the Lich, who can sometimes falls to early aggression. We see Ember Spirit, very, very weak early game, too. And Lone Druid is decent, but they have to put 3 people up there to try and keep him down. And now that it's just one person, he's able to get some CS at the tower.
And looking at the CS scores, even the mid lane one we haven't talked about too much. Magnus 31-11 against the 24-0 Doom.
That's a lot of denies.
Yeah, that actually is. Doom with 0 denies. I mean, Magnus did have a little bit of room in the lane while Doom was in the jungle, but
he also got denied from Stark Sacrifice.
yeah, that's actually true. So Magnus just having a good old time here in the mid. He's got a double damage rune on right now. Already has his arcane boots up.
He is rich.
So yeah, that is a rich Magnus.
Yeah, 5 minutes in, having 36 CS is pretty darn good, especially when you think, I believe he got 2 creeps denied.
Yeah, #1 on the net worth chart right now.
So we already see Devil Rasta
bottom
going
tower
for
is
a
under
Morbid
attack.
Mask, so their plan for the mid game is probably just farm up, surprisingly. I'm surprised that they don't go for like early drums and then try and get some towers down.
Yeah, he may just go Helm of the Dominator into BKB. That's a sort of a more greedy opener and then gives you some mid-game presence. But yeah, drums would not be bad here, that's for sure.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Doom will now pick up his phase boots, so he's cruising all over the place. Crystal Maiden grabs that 6-minute rune. It is a regeneration. She'll go ahead and just burn it. More of a deny pick from the Magnus than anything else. And, oh, poor Magnus. He's going to have to take that horn back to the mid lane.
By the horn of Magnus. Doom is smoked up. He has 6. They can kill mid. This could be our first blood here if he pushes up. And
Crystal Maiden comes in. There's the Doom. Crystal Nova, a Frostbite. Oh, Magnus, my friend, I think you will suffer an unfortunate
Oh, no, he's going to get denied.
Last Hit Magic comes in, catches 2 in the Sprout. The tower will take some shots on the Crystal Maiden.
Can he work his magic? Oh, he's
staying
not going to
nearby.
die.
He'll survive.
Wow.
Wow.
I don't know how. What in the world? He did have Scorched Earth there for that fight. I don't know why, but if he had Scorched Earth, that would have been almost certainly at least a kill, if not first blood.
Yeah. And that's sort of where having basically any other creep besides Tornado could have come in handy right there. A War Stomp could have secured that kill, even a Shockwave from a Satyr or Satyr. How do you say that one?
Satyr. I say Satyr.
You say Satyr?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just follow suit.
You could also get the lightning creeps. Those things are ownage.
Oh, yeah, the Harpies.
The
Yeah,
those are so
dude,
ownage.
those things are ridiculous.
It's so much damage.
Yeah, and the cooldown on their chain lightning is, what is it, like 2 seconds?
It's not that low. It's pretty low though.
It's something absurdly low. Like
Yeah.
you
get some value out of your mana. That's for sure.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple times where Chen just grabs an early one of those creeps, moves into the mid lane, and you can really sell
There goes the
somebody out.
flash. There goes a few bottle charges.
Yeah.
And it looks like they are making very good use of stacks. Pull sources from Tenkos is. We saw double stack getting taken out here by Alchemist and Nature's Prophet. Now double stack here getting taken out by the 2 supports as well as Nature's Prophet.
But it didn't come for free. Ember Spirit had free roam in this bottom lane. He's now pushed that bottom tier 1 tower completely unchecked.
That is scary.
He's
You
in
do not
free
want to
farm
let
heaven.
you do not want to let him refarm.
Yeah.
That's his weakness, his early game. And then once he gets like his Battle Fury, he can just jungle and just be huge and still contribute a lot to team fights. I think he's one of the few heroes that can fight with just a Battle Fury very effectively.
Yeah, because the Sleight of Fist gives him that ability to do some damage, but still, stay at kind of an arm's length away. And also, I mean, his ultimate, the Fire Remnant, makes him pretty elusive. He can be hard to lock
Radiant's
down once he
middle
starts to get
tower
the
is
ball
under
rolling.
attack.
So I definitely agree. Not the
Dire's
hero that you
bottom
want to give
tower
free
is
farm
under
to.
attack.
And this is part of where that wild card mentality
Ooh,
kind of
we might
comes
see a
in.
death here. There is going to be something for the haste rune, and Magnus is going to get gone on.
And he will get caught inside of the chains. He does have a skewer still available. Magnus, okay, he also has an RP.
Ooh. Hey.
Ember Spirit will just retreat.
He's scared.
Is it the searing chains? Yeah. I knew it was something chains.
Searing chains?
Firing chain.
Oh, I thought it was fiery bolus. Did they change it?
Searing change, sleight of fist, flame guard, and fire remnant.
Unleashes fiery bolus. I always called it fiery bolus. I guess it's searing chains. Whatever.
Searing chains.
What else? Immobilize.
What else?
Ooh, the smoke into the Roshan. This is early.
Sneaky snake here. Dazzle did go. No, not Dazzle. Pardon me. Alchemist went for the early Medallion of Courage. So that minus armor on Roche really does come in handy. And our Radiant side, they've got no idea. They don't even have any wards down here.
This is super sneaky.
Yeah,
man.
this is extra sneaky. Great timing as well. 9 minutes, those initial wards have gone down.
Dire's bottom
And
tower
it seems
is under
that
attack.
DNT are none the wiser to it.
Yeah, and the Dazzle heal doing a lot of deeps.
Do the wave.
Do the wave. 1-1-2 build. What's your favorite build on Dazzle? Depends.
It really does depend. Generally speaking, I like to level Poison Touch primarily. I think early game Dazzle's aggression is something that's often underestimated, and Poison Touch just does a lot of damage. It does 320 at
Wait,
max
who's gonna
level,
take
not
this Aegis?
300.
Oh, there goes.
Yeah, Magnus will grab it.
Yeah, it does a lot of damage.
So I think people underestimate the amount of damage it does. I mean, like at level 5, you can have level 3 Poison Touch that does 260 damage as a DOT and a slow, so you can always get a couple of auto attacks off when you poison somebody. I think it has a lot of damage potential. I'm not a big fan of leveling the Shadow Wave as the primary, though it's not bad. Usually you're not in like a teamfight scenario where you're going to be using it to its fullest potential. Like, that's one of the abilities that you don't really want to use to save somebody. The single target heal is total ass. What it's good for is doing a lot amount of heal over a lot of targets. In a big 5v5 team fight, spamming that heal, it adds up for team sustain, not really individual sustain. So unless you're like team fighting hard, I just don't see that level 4 ability working to its full potential until you're grouped up, which is one of the reasons I prefer
Lower
Poison
CD
Touch.
is nice though. It scales incredibly well.
It does. All of his abilities scale
Yeah.
really well, and you're
This is
absolutely
why he
right.
needs levels.
Exactly right. That's why Dazzle needs those levels. So, but also if he feels like he's not going to be getting a lot of experience, it can just be sort of putting your cards in so you have the Shadow Wave ready before that first team fight. Certainly going Poison Touch primary can be a double-edged sword if you don't have the defensive abilities you need, but it really does depend on the game, the amount of experience you have, and the amount of aggression you can put out. If there are a lot of gank potential, there is a lot of gank potential, then Poison Touch is better. If you're playing a more defensive, like kind of a defensive tri-lane strategy, then usually the heal is better. So he truly is a hero that has no cookie cutter build.
Indeed. Indeed he is not. And number 1 on the last hit chart is the Ember Spirit. He already has phase and drums. Magnus shortly behind, almost has his Blink Dagger, just needs 200 gold, but he has Aegis, so he should easily be able to farm that up. Net worth chart, we see Doom and Magnus and Ember Spirit.
Derp. He's in some trouble. Doom ultimate comes out onto Magnus as he skewers in. That's actually the first blood. Goes the way of Nature's Prophet.
That is so late. That's
Wow.
that's a 11-minute first blood.
Woo. Complete opposite of the last game we saw.
Yeah. Last game was a bloodbath.
So Shadow Wave used again, keeps Magnus alive. Dazzle just works so well
Dire's
against
bottom
Doom. He's one of my
tower is
favorite
under
heroes to pick
attack.
into a Doom for 2 reasons. One, if Dazzle isn't the Doom target, you can use your Shadow Wave and your Shallow Grave to mitigate the damage of the Doom ultimate. And also, he's a viable Doom target. So anytime you have multiple cores where Doom has to decide, okay, who's the best target for my ultimate? It's not just a one-and-done single-core OD or something to make that
Dire's
decision
bottom
easy.
tower is under
Makes
attack.
Doom's life a little bit more difficult. So I
Yep.
like the choice.
They have a quad sack here going on too. So yeah, PSST is getting super value out of their jungle, but they're still behind on gold. Not that much though, considering they are down by 1 tower. So Ember Spirit is getting big, and yeah, he big and bad, out of control. He has his Mithril Hammer, so I guess it's gonna be it might be a Desolator build though. I don't think this is gonna be a BKB.
Yeah, interesting. He's not going for the Battle Fury though. That is the classic Ember. I mean, the double Battle Fury.
Yeah,
is a little
double
more
Battle
niche,
Fury is
but,
like so good.
it's good, but maybe a little more niche. Even just a single Battle Fury. He's playing this like a hard carry. He's had a lot of farming room. I think if he went like the Rush Battle Fury build, he could certainly have it by now.
Yeah, why does he need the drum? It's not like they're gonna fight that early,
Yeah.
especially with the HOD on Luna. They're gonna be farming up. So I think you counter greed with more greed, unless you can actually fight them. Oh, there's the RP.
Oh, Chain Frost flies, but in comes the RP as well. We'll catch a couple of heroes. Magnus trying to skewer back. Both sides unable to secure a kill quite yet. Magnus will get caught in the entangle. From
Leave
that
him to
Spirit
die.
And
Oh, that's a good.
will survive. But meanwhile, up top, Ember Spirit joined the fray. He picked off the Luna. He will corner the Dazzle. Shallow Grave comes out. Dazzle might stand his ground to turn it around. Whoa, the Fiery Remnant out. Ember Spirit barely survives, but Dazzle making me proud right there. He does survive on Stable Concoction. Just tickles.
Relic getting chased down. He has Doom on him. He does have Skewer in just a second.
Oh, he will catch checking MC back to the streets. He's trying to
He has
make a great
blink up.
escape here.
Oh,
Oh no, the
he-
ensnare into the entangle.
Oh, talk about overkill.
Yeah, how untimely.
That was... They didn't have any damage going into the Magnus ultimate. That was a really big problem there. They didn't have Eclipse. Or was it Eclipse from Devil Rasta?
Yeah, still sitting off cooldown. So you're right, it was a good RP, but the follow-up wasn't there. And I just don't know that they needed to dive the tower. It was a good jump from Magnus, but it put them in this awkward position where he basically just ended up burning the Aegis and nothing came of it.
Yeah, I agree. And they lost two very important heroes. Magnus and Lunas are the two heroes you don't want to die. The third would probably be the Nature's Prophet, but he doesn't even have his Midas yet. Even with First Blood, so that's a super late Midas. We're talking about like a 15-minute with First Blood Midas.
Yeah.
With Roshan, too. I don't know where his farm's been.
Yeah, well, Alchemist in some trouble here. The Searing Change. The chains, not the chain. Jeez. But they rack up a kill on the Alchemist, an easy dive, and he will take a spill. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Nature's Prophet is pressuring this tier 1 tower. Magnus will join the fray, and we'll start chipping away at him here. You're right, Last Hits Magic really is working on a late Midas. It feels like this game has not been on that long, but 15 minutes in already. That tier 1 tower in the mid does fall, but Luna gets picked off again in the bottom lane. I didn't catch it as we were watching mid, but she will fall. This Ember Spirit already starting to show us how powerful he can be. I think they seem to be underestimating his damage output, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean...
And he's getting Desolator, too.
He can just chase people down. Can he take an Eclipse at this point? I think he can. Yeah, he can definitely take a level 1 Eclipse with his Flame Guard. He is level 11, too. He's going to be a problem. He has a second Mithril Hammer, too. We're talking about a Desolator, Drums, Phase Boots in about 16 minutes time.
But Lone Druid up top, he'll get caught in an unfortunate situation. The Chain Frost taking a lot of bounces here, does an absurd amount of damage. Will now take another bounce to the Dazzle, into the neutrals, almost back to the Nature's Prophet. A lot of damage comes out, but unfortunately a small bit of unlucky... I'm stumbling about my words here. Unlucky for the Lich that the bounces didn't land between two heroes.
That's an important kill, killing a Lone Druid. He has 2,700 gold, so he is sitting on a mound trying to get his Radiance. So not only do they have to worry about this over-farmed Ember Spirit, they got to worry about the Lone Druid, too, and a Doom in their face. Yeah,
Doom and Ember Spirit are topping the net worth chart by a large margin right now. Magnus is the leading farmer for PSST, but he's on par with the offlaner of DNT, who is the Lone Druid. So there's a pretty big disparity here. About a 5,000 gold lead, somewhere about a 7,500 experience lead. DNT are off to the races, and I worry now that this Desolator is up on Ember Spirit. He's starting to hit pretty damn hard early on here.
Yeah, 167 damage. That is a lot.
That's a lot. And he's still low armor himself, but that minus armor will definitely add up. And of course, with Sleight of Fist, it does apply the Desolator debuff, so he can apply that minus armor to a large area and relatively low risk. We will see this giant stack underway, though. This is at least a 4 stack here. A dragon, some golems, a couple of thunder lizards as well.
Triceratops.
Rumble hides.
Oh, smoke.
Uh-oh.
And it was just a solo smoke, but they can't do anything about this.
Spirit, he's on the other side of the tree line. He wants to make something happen.
Oh, he got 2 of the creeps and the dragon.
Wow.
What a value. Sleight of hand.
Yeah,
Sleight of fist.
That really was, yeah. And Ember Spirit right now, he's actually 2-0-1, so that just shows how little pressure has come his way
middle tower is
as he continues to farm up.
I think he's one of the scariest heroes with free farm, though. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Like, Anti-Mage is, like, kind of scary, too. Spectre is kind of scary, but Ember Spirit is, like, yeah, he just scales incredibly well with items, and he's easy to pressure early. Well, looks like Relic and the rest of PSST trying to take out some towers. We've only seen 6 kills this game, but Dignotoss is pushing mid and top at the same time, too, so I don't think PSST can.
They already made it a 1-for-1 exchange, clearing out that tier 1 mid. Now they force out the glyph as they pressure the tier 2. Right now the total tower count is 3-2 in favor of DNT, but that could quickly change. We see some heroes on PSST retreating, some continuing to push down in the bottom lane, but they will make a hold at their tier 2 in the mid lane. We see a ping coming out on the top tier 2 tower. Perhaps DNT will group up for a push over here. Lone Druid, where is he? He's got the Relic now, so very close to the Radiance. And that's a pretty decent Radiance timing, given that he was off to a relatively slow start in the lane, was not in anything resembling a free farm environment. Pretty well-timed Radiance coming out.
Yep. And looks like, I mean, we're still going to see passive though. But again, this works out in favor of Dignotoss because they have better late game. And PSST, they need to bring the pressure with RPs. We have not seen any RPs except for one.
Yeah, the one where he dove the tower. We haven't seen a big team fight RP. Look at this path blocking from the bear. Devil Rasta will say, you know, I'm just going to port out. I'm going to play this one safe, and that's probably the right call. But well played by Chicken MC. He's going to take him back to the streets.
Chicken MC? I think he probably has the best name of anyone in this tournament.
I like it. I'm a fan. I think you're right, though. PSST are coming up on that window where they have to capitalize on their mid-game presence. They've got all that minus armor we talked about. Acid Spray is max level, so if they can land that on top of an RP, it could be huge. There's now a point in Empower, so some extra AoE cleave damage. Dazzle's level 8, so needless to say, he's got Weave, which he just showed us. So they can definitely take a team fight if they have the initiation there. And I think they have to do it sometime soon before they just get out-carried. Oh, the carries of the Radiant continue to farm. Druid about halfway to the recipe for the Radiance, and now a Shiva's Guard is up on the Doombringer.
That is super scary. And meanwhile, they have a Force F on Magnus, but that's just not that big. Luna doesn't even have BKB yet since she's died twice, and I really think that's a big factor. If they had BKB, they could start taking down some T2s, but it's just so slow in the timing that they can push out their aggression. And they just have not been able to do it all game. They rarely are on the opposite side of the river, and all they're doing is stacking and farming, but Ember, with his by far more farm and more items, he just farms up way faster than this Luna.
Yeah. He's got another 2,000 gold in the bank. I'm very curious to see where he goes from here. The fact that he isn't going the Battle Fury build is interesting. So, I mean, what would you like to see come out of the Ember Spirit?
Daedalus or still a Battle Fury?
Just raw, hard carry, and Battle Fury never really gets bad on the Ember Spirit, so interesting. We'll see what he wants to grab.
BKB's not bad,
yeah,
too, but I think he can get away with damage this game. As long as they scout out for Magnus, but that's on Lone Druid as well as Doom. You just run up with Scorched Earth, you run up with Radiance so he can't blink, and try and find him so that he can't hit that big RP.
Crystal Maiden, blink forward, skewer back into the Alchemist, Unstable Concoction comes, and Crystal Maiden takes a spill. Not much she could have done to survive that one. Caught by the ward, unfortunately. They grabbed themselves a kill, but not too
Now
big
Roshan
of a
is
deal.
up.
Dire's bottom tower
Ember Spirit
is under
pressuring the
attack.
bottom tier 2. A port comes in. And they will start to posture around.
Oh, he got
Roshan.
RP'd.
Oh, wow. He blinks forward, catches the RP. Ember Spirit will fall. A worthy RP, considering Roshan is up.
Yeah, that
They
was
should be
huge.
able to secure
I thought
it.
the Ember Spirit would have had his Remnant like a little further back or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, I hopped the camera off because I thought he would scoot away, and then...
Yeah. Nice
Hopped
play
right
by
back.
Relic.
Well
Citizen of Smurfsia. So there's a Luna BKB. Now this is the timing that they need. And that was just probably the worst time to get caught out by Ember Spirit too. Right before the second Roshan, right when Luna gets her BKB. Now they're going to start pushing out the lanes. And look at the lanes. All the lanes are pushed back to Dignotoss' side of the river too. So it's a very good time for them to exert their presence on the map. RP is still down for 60 seconds, so maybe when that comes up, but now Lone Druid has his Radiance, and it's just going to be fighting farm with farm. Who can get more map control, who can get more out of their creep camps in the jungle.
Yeah, well, at least Luna has BKB up now, so she can start participating in these team fights. Dazzle has also been able to complete his mechanism. Actually, right before Roche, he had it complete, so now there is a mech on both sides of the coin, which is good news. Meanwhile, up top, Derp, he's in some trouble. Shockwave connects, out comes the Sprout. They get turned into some tree babies. And Chain Frost flies. Will it bounce to the Nature's Prophet? It certainly does. And Lich makes it a 1-for-1. Well played by Derp right there, making that actually a favorable exchange for DNT.
Yeah, he was closing in on his sheep stick.
Yep.
But not after that.
Doom comes in. He will drop the ultimate onto Magnus. The rest of the team nearby as well. Radiance up on the bear. This is going to be a dead Magnus no matter what
Where's
they
the
do.
TP?
Dazzle does have the shallow grave. He'll buy himself some time, but it won't be enough. Doom actually... oh, pardon me. Yeah, Magnus falls.
That was a 3-for-1. Whew.
Yeah. All set up by the Lich. Well done, Derp.
Well done, Derp indeed. And now they don't have RP because Magnus is still dead for 30 seconds. Yeah, they have Luna, but is Luna really going to be able to outcarry this? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Maybe if she was like snowballing way ahead of everyone, that maybe there's a chance, but
he's hitting hard now. He has his
number 3.
Chrysalis.
Yep, there's the crit on Ember Spirit. I think between Doom, yeah, there's just no way between the Druid, Doom, and Ember Spirit.
And
how
Radiance
is a Luna
Bear
going to go up against that? Yeah, Radiance on the bear. I mean, that you have an Alchemist, and he can start to transition into a little bit more of a carry. He's working towards an Assault Cuirass, Plate Mail, and Chain Mail. already up, but he's only level 9, still no points in Grievel's Greed, so it will be a long time before that Alchemist resembles anything like a carry.
Well, they need a big RP here.
Yeah,
but
that's for sure.
the thing is, Dignotoss doesn't actually have to take that risk.
That was a one-man RP. Once again on the Ember Spirit. Could be a worthy target, but this time support's inbound. In comes the Shivas from Doom. Magnus in big trouble. He'll get the Shallow Grave. Doom ultimate coming up in about 15 seconds. Can they secure this kill onto the Magnus? Dazzle doing a lot of sustain. Out comes the Eclipse from Luna. Does bounce to a couple of creeps, but has enough to finish off the Lich. Now, perhaps they'll turn Doom ultimate up in 5 seconds. They may be able to grab a kill on Luna. Meanwhile, Chicken MC, he's headed back to the streets. He's still alive, and Entangle comes out on the bear. And Alchemist trying to pour it out. The Searing Chains get there in time. They grab a kill on the Alchemist. So Magnus did survive, but it ends up being a 1 for 2, and now they will lose this tier 2 tower mid.
They got the Ember Spirit, but at the same time, the Doom and the Lone Druid are just getting huge now, too. And this is just pretty difficult to come back from. Lone Druid has his Hyperstone too, and now they're going to pressure the base. There is no RP, and without RP, they don't have any fight.
Yeah. This is that point in the game where you just simply can't burn RP for one hero, and certainly you have to kill that hero that you land the RP on. They did kill him, but he bought back straight away, and now they're in
what
trouble.
a skewer.
Skewer back, but Doom saved his ultimate that whole time. He'll throw it onto Magnus. A Shallow Grave, maybe enough to keep him alive. Doom will certainly fall.
That was a huge skewer.
Damage to Magnus, but yeah, nice pick right there. Sends him back to the gym.
Well, now they still don't kill the Ember and the Lone Druid though. They got Ember Spirit once, but still his items are still coming in very, very fast. And Luna is just not really on pace. She does have the Aegis and she is somewhat catching up, but still she is eclipsed by all 3 of the big farmers on Dignotoss, and that's with the help of 2 Aegises. That's with all the T1s down.
I think they're at the point where you just can't burn that RP on a solo hero. I mean, Ember Spirit's
But how else
a
do they
good
kill the
target.
Ember Spirit though?
It's true, but I don't know. It just stymies their team fight potential after you burn that. I mean, so much is riding on the back of this Magnus. If he can at least catch 2, I think it's worth it. But just the solo Ember Spirit, I don't know if you can warrant it now, given that Doom has come online and this Druid is hitting harder at an increasing frequency. We see some engaging happening about this tier 2 tower. Lich throws a Chain Frost. We'll start to do some bounces here. Alchemist does get picked off around the fray.
He hits so hard.
Yep, 2 fights erupting here, but it appears that Ember Spirit will kind of come out the victor as he zones out the rest of these heroes. Dazzle Shallow Graves and ports out. Magnus is able to TP, or blink back to safety. But I mean, that was a solo Ember Spirit zoning out 3 heroes of PSST. He managed to kill the Alchemist, and then zoned out the Dazzle.
Here goes the T3 push. So they don't have RP for 70 seconds, and that is going to be way more time than Dignotoss needs to take down this tower.
Best they can hope for is a blink out skewer into the base. Perhaps they can pick someone off. But Dazzle does have Shallow Grave up now. He went for a defensive build. Shallow Grave only on a 15-second cooldown, which is a smart play here. The tier 3 tower falls. Devil Pasta taking heavy damage. This bear, you know what they say, Merlini, bears don't care. And he will proc the Aegis. Luna coming back up. Does have an Eclipse available. BKB still off cooldown. Bear taking some heavy damage.
Wow.
They can't even kill
you
the bear.
See that damage coming out from Ember Spirit, though?
Ooh. He's off the charts, man.
He really is.
Yeah, just look at that Dazzle. He's taking the burn from the Radiance now as well. Rax under heavy pressure. No glyph available. Ranged Rax will fall.
Will it? I don't think it will.
Maybe it will. 5 hit points left. In comes the Eclipse from Luna. She'll get doomed. BKB comes out as well. They secure a kill onto Dazzle as well as the Magnus. It's looking a bit grim for PSST. They dive back to their tier 4s. DNT don't pursue. They make the smart choice and just move back to the barracks. And they clear up the mid lane.
Yeah, they just don't have anything without RP, though. Like, Nature's Prophet literally does nothing in these fights. Yep. And Dazzle, he's trying his best to power through Doom. But that means 2 heroes are kind of preoccupied with just 1 ultimate cooldown. Luna is just trying her darn best to survive. And Alchemist is too. So without RP, they just have absolutely nothing. And yeah, so, I mean, do you think Ember Spirit is imbalanced?
I don't know if imbalance is the right word. Again, this is another one of these games where I don't think it's a great showing because he had absolute free farm. They didn't pressure him at all. He was up against the solo Nature's Prophet, had free farm on that front, and then Nature's Prophet left the lane. They let him solo push a tower, which he got the last hit for. That's a good way to start a game. I think pretty much any prominent carry right now with that kind of
momentum. How do you get the camera to follow like that?
Double click on the portrait.
Oh.
Never knew that?
No, I never knew that.
Well, look at that.
Wow,
I taught Merlini something.
Hey, oh, I double clicked up here and it didn't do anything. It just like focused on the hero.
Yeah. It doesn't always. Sometimes you have to.
Nice. I
triple click
can be super lazy now.
Be lazy. Just follow the lone.
Wait,
druid.
it didn't follow him.
You gotta.
The Ember
So
Spirit.
you might have to triple click. You gotta give it.
No,
Some of that
he like
relief APM.
TP'd.
Oh,
If the TP's out, anyways.
that shouldn't break it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Lone druid stalking the Luna right here. I don't think he can do much by himself, but he is scouting it out. He sees the Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet now has a Scythe of Ice, so that is a step in
Oh,
the
he
right
doesn't
direction.
have a TP up though.
Oh.
Yeah, he just assumed he TP'd out. I think.
So anyhow, the point we were making about Ember Spirit, though, I still like. This is the first game I've casted of Ember Spirit. I think he's obviously powerful. I would like to see the Battle Fury build under a closer microscope. But again, I think this game, part of the reason why he's so tilted is because he had so much space to farm. And I think it would be even
really
worse
did.
if he had gone Battle Fury first. He would be so much more fat right now.
He's already pretty fat.
And he's already pretty fat.
The thing is, he's less farmed than Luna, but I think he does more damage.
Definitely. I would definitely say that.
So he scales better than one of the best carries in the game right now.
I think his risk for return might be a little bit lopsided in terms of like how much damage he can do with Sleight of Fist based on how easy of a positioning he can be in to get it off.
Right.
You know, I think that's the problem.
That's true. I would agree with you there. Like, if Sleight of Fist were, like, you could only, like, let's say you just press it and it automatically did it around you instead of you selecting the area.
Right.
Then
yeah.
I think it'd be a lot better. But, like, he's like a melee hero, but not really a melee hero.
Yeah. It's just, or it's maybe too big of a radius that he can do damage in.
That's true. The radius is
somehow
very
he can
massive.
stay in a pretty defensive
550
position.
radius?
Yeah,
That is-
and do an absurd amount of damage. So that's where...
And he's invulnerable.
Yeah.
It's like Omni Slash.
He goes invulnerable. Yeah, he's in that, like, temporary state. Yeah, I think he's strong.
He's strong.
I think he could use a little bit of a tweak, but I don't think he's that bad. I think his early game presence sort of makes up for his late game power. He's just one of those heroes that you have to punish. You have to make sure he doesn't get free farm. You have to go aggro Crag, tri-lane on him, or you got to do something.
Isn't that too much, though? Like, usually you can counter greed with more greed.
Yeah.
But if you're, like, always forced to aggro tri-lane hero, don't you think that may be a little bit too strong?
Yeah, maybe. All right, maybe he's
Maybe.
a
I mean,
little
I'm not
strong
sure.
right
I'm
now.
just trying to play devil's advocate.
Yeah, no,
I think
we
he's-
need to see him in more games, I think.
That's true. We need a larger
Sure.
sample size.
Yeah, but he's looking strong, that's for damn sure. One thing I do know, if you give him free farm, you're going to have a bad time. As, well, we'll see DNT press forward here. Doom in the front lines, does so the ultimate onto Magnus. He's got the RP off cooldown, but that will disable him enough for this tower to take
Minus
heavy
armor
pressure.
does nothing versus his Doom, though. He has mech and he has Shivas. It's the same build he went to other game, but he has 27 armor. And then on top of that, he has Frost armor.
Yeah.
So, oh, no, wait, he has Lich Frost armor as well as the Ogre Frost armor.
Wow.
That is some...
Double Frost armor.
Look at his
Oh,
armor after this
Wow.
weave waves comes off. He has 33 without Lich Frost armor.
That's
so
crazy.
he has 38 now.
Ice armor from the... Huh. And it's exactly the same, too. It's interesting that they stack, even though they're both ice. Like,
That's
literally called the same ability.
Ridiculous amounts of armor. Literally taking no damage right there. Except from Roshan.
Wow. So the ice armor that you get from the ice ogre is actually exactly the same as the one Lich has.
Uh-huh.
That's
But they
interesting.
stack.
Yeah, but they stack. It's exactly the same spell, but they stack. Sort of that whole, like, there's 3 impales, you know, your Burrow Strike, Earth Strike, and Impale, but this is just, there's just one ice armor. And they share it around. Interesting. I mean, I knew they were, like, the same premise, but I had never actually compared the stats to realize that they're literally
Wow,
the
even
same
Lich
thing.
has a scepter. How did he get that far? Lich Scepter, I think, is garbage, but still, he has a scepter.
Really? You don't like Scepter on Lich?
No. It increased cast range
Yeah.
and damage, which is not what he needs. If it increased missile speed, it'd be amazing.
Well, that would certainly, yeah. I think
It's
the missile
Scepter.
speed is
Come
the-
on, Scepter's supposed to make your ultimate
make things
OP.
fun. Okay, yeah, that would be a cool change if it increased the missile speed as well. I would really like to see that.
Or at least maybe like the first one.
Yeah, I don't think Ags is too bad though. Lich can launch it from a pretty far range now. He just sits back, chucks the chain
You can
frost.
already do that anyways, though.
Yeah.
Who wants to kill a Lich in team fights? You're not looking to kill a Lich.
Oh, RP used. It will proc the Aegis here. And a pretty big Eclipse comes out as well. That Lone Druid taking some good damage, but now that the Ember Spirit's up, uh-oh, in comes the Chain Frost as well. We'll take a couple of bounces. Dazzle falls, as does the Crystal Maiden. Down goes the Nature's Prophet as well. This Ember Spirit is just too much. They finish off the Magnus as well. Compliments of that Radiance Burn. And, oh, Doom up top will finish off the Luna. So it looked like a good initiation there.
Aegis, though.
But
Like,
yeah,
he's a squishy
that
hero,
Aegis.
but if you can compensate with an Aegis, then he doesn't even need BKB. That's the thing. That's probably why I think he's so strong, is because he doesn't need a BKB.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I thought he may grab one here, but it would have been overkill. He simply doesn't need it.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, he just hits too hard. As soon as he popped back up, he does so much AoE damage.
I think this game would have been a lot different if they aggro tried him.
Yeah.
Too.
You know, the more I'm looking at Ember Spirit here, the more I'm starting to think that he is a lot stronger than I've been giving him credit for.
Yeah.
Flame Guard. It absorbs 500 magic damage. That's a lot.
That's why you don't need BKB.
Yeah, that's why you don't like that. But that 500 is a lot. Oh, I mean, that's a full level spell and then some. It's basically 2 level 4 spells, around 300 damage a pop.
Yeah.
And the real question is that Flame Guard Magic Absorb, is that free armor mitigation?
Use your alt key. It's your friend.
Oh, always, Merlini, always. Magic reduction is calculated before any reduction.
All your
that makes it
questions.
even better.
All right.
Gotta start using that alt key more. Oh, boy. So they will press forward here. Alchemist gets scraped up. Shallow Grave comes out onto the Nature's Prophet. But, yeah, GG, well played. It's about time.
Yeah, how absurd is that? Magic damage reduction is calculated before...
Why? Just why? That ability would be amazing if it was pre-mitigation.
I don't know.
Or no, yeah, like
Ice Frog, please. I think at least he's seeing play. He's not like grossly imbalanced.
no, not grossly, but he's strong. He's got a good kit.
He was good to experiment with in CM.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Now I want to queue up some Ember Spirit after seeing that game.
Well, if you get free,
of course I won't get free farm in
the
my
thing
pub
is, like,
games, but
this is the big difference. They had a Morphling that free farmed the other day. Now they have an Ember Spirit. Ember Spirit just is much better at 15 minutes.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up. I got a lot of tweets that people were upset about us insulting the standing of Morphling right now. I saw even in the rebroadcast, he's not garbage tier. I got a lot of flack for that.
He's
comment.
garbage tier.
Whoa, there you go.
I'm okay with getting flack for it.
I'm okay with it too.
This is the exact same thing that happened to them yesterday.
Yeah.
They free farmed for 20 minutes on a hero. One hero just destroys everybody. He was 8 and 2 and 7. He was just like crushing people. He solo killed the Luna.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, we had a Morphling who ended up positive score at the end of the game, but it doesn't matter. They couldn't win.
Yeah.
It's about the win. It's not about this KDA. It's not about what items you have. It's about what can your hero do to win the game. And he just does so much more.
Yeah. Point in case. That's good. So you're right. It really was a similar game, though. Very similar flavor. But
almost the same thing.
I think one big takeaway here is just don't give Ember Spirit free farm. He may be powerful. He may be worth a ban, but he's just a hero that you can't leave unattended. He farms very fast. He can push quick. And once he gets that momentum, boy, is he hard to shut down.
He falls versus Sheeps, though, and they don't have a good Sheep carrier. So I think, like, if they have maybe like a Puck or something, they can actually silence him instantly.
Yeah, as a Prophet had a Sheep at the end, but
it was way too late. Yeah. If they had, like, Magnus was just too long of a cooldown. Like, we just saw them completely take advantage of the really long cooldown. They got to kill on one hero. Okay, we're just going to take Rax. We're just going to take a T3. We're going to take Roshan. And I think if they had, like, someone with a lower cooldown, like, okay, we'll just blink silence and try and kill people very easily. Because they don't have any counter initiate. So once they initiate, they can get a kill and then bounce out. But they didn't have any way to re-engage after the RP. Yeah. So I think it was a little bit due to the weakness of Magnus in particular in this specific draft. The weakness of their aggression. They didn't aggro tri-lane, and it's just Ember Spirit being a much better hero than Morphling.
Yeah. They had that wombo combo on the dire side, but they never really got to use it.
No, they didn't.
The biggest RP he got, I think, was the one at the tier 1 tower, the first RP he did that ended up being...
That's what set the pace for the rest of the game, though. Like, he got a big RP, and they still won the fight. That was with the Aegis, too. That was their time to shine. That was their time to take all these T1s. I believe that T1 was still up at the end, too.
Yep. Oh, yeah. No, Magnus basically hopped in, died, and then he got to the north side of the tower, procced the Aegis, and then as soon as he came back up, everybody just ran, and they didn't push.
So we have another team that bites the dust. Team PSST.
Yep. DNT come out the victors here. So where does
and then there were 4.
And then there were 4. So tomorrow we've got a best of 3, the winners bracket finals. So tomorrow we'll know one of 2 teams that have moved all the way through this qualifier, and it will be Team Dog versus Osiris. That will be a nail biter.
I think that will actually be a really good game. Team Dog is
good series.
Strong. Yeah, good
series. Yeah.
I think Team Dog is strong, but they still have a lot of errors they need to work out. Like, Misery gets caught out a lot. They worked with stand-in the other day. Demon sometimes is over-aggressive and too flashy. So I think if they, like, work out some small things about the team, they could be a really good team. But now they're still in that training phase. And Osiris seems like they played really well. They've been together for quite some time, and they have a lot of experience and teamwork together. So they just work. They're more well-oiled as a team.
Willas and Patzel in particular, they've both been playing out of their minds. Even Guanzo, he was on that epic Clockwork the other day.
Yeah, that Clockwork was.
They've really been.
Which was
good.
better, Guanzo's Clockwork or that Clockwork that we saw today, or Angels? I don't. That was. They're both.
There's been a lot of good Clockwork. Yeah, Clockwork is a ban-worthy hero in this tournament.
Yeah.
If there's like one breakout hero that's made the most plays, I think it's probably Clockwork across all the matches.
I'd say so too.
A huge playmaker. So that does wrap up our coverage today. It will be just the Singleton best of 3 tomorrow, and then after that, it will be the next day following. Will be the losers bracket round 3, and then the losers bracket final. So we're at the tail end here of our American qualifier for Starladder Season 9. It's been a pleasure to cover it so far, and we'll be back tomorrow. Officer Merlini over here. He needs more followers on Twitter, guys. At Merlini Dota. I'm at Zayori TV. Make sure you follow at Beyond the Summit. And also, I looked it up this time. The Starladder Twitter, it is weird. It is Starladder_TV. So make sure you follow Starladder as well for updates about the schedule and everything that is happening. Tomorrow, we are scheduled to start at 2 p.m. Pacific, an hour later today. But as always, subject to change as teams are constantly having scheduling issues. So
Starladder need a enforcer.
They need an enforcer. They need that Billy Club handcuff them to the computer so that they can't dodge.
Pretty much.
Whatever else
I guess so.
So that's it for today, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same time. Take care.